Okay, so we're doing Job chapter 8. I'm thinking this is distracted. Yeah, chapter 8. Then Bildad the Shuhite spoke up and said, "How long will you speak these things, seeing that the words of your mouth are like a great wind? Does God pervert justice, or does the Almighty pervert what is right? If your children sinned against him, he gave them over to the penalty of their sin. But if you will look to God and accept your supplication to the Almighty, if you become pure and upright, even when he will rouse himself for you and will restore your righteous home, your beginning will seem so small, since your future will flourish. For inquire now of the former generation and pay attention to the findings of their ancestors. For we were born yesterday and do not have knowledge, since our days on earth are but a shadow. Will they not instruct you and speak to you and bring forth words from their understanding? Can the papyrus plant grow tall where there is no marsh? Can reeds flourish without water? While they are still beginning to flower and not ripe for cutting, can they wither away faster than any grass? Such as the destiny of all who forget God and hope for the godless perishes, whose trust is in something futile, whose security is a spider's web." He leans against his house, but it does not hold up. He takes hold of it, but it does not stand. He is a well-watered plant in the sun. Its shoots spread over its garden. It wraps its roots around the head of stones, and it looks like a place among stones. For if he uprooted from his place, then that place will disown him, saying, "I have never seen you." Indeed, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth others spring up. Surely God does not reject a blameless man, nor does he grasp the hand of the evildoers. He will yet fill your mouth with laughter, and your lips with gladness. Those who hate you will be clothed with shame, and the tent of the wicked will be no more. Then Job answered, "Truly I know that this is so, but how can a human be just before God? If someone wishes to contend with him, he cannot answer him one time in 1,000. He is wise in the heart and mighty in strength. Who has resisted him and remained safe? He who removes mountains suddenly will overturn them in his anger. He who shakes the earth out of place so that its pillars tremble. He who commands the sun and it does not shine, and seals up the stars. He alone spreads out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea. He makes the Bear, Orion, and the Pleiades, and the constellation of southern sky. He does great and unsearchable things, and wonderful things without number. If he passes by me, I cannot see him. If he goes by, I cannot perceive him. If he snatches away, who can turn him back? Who dares to say to him, "What are you doing?" God does not restrain his anger, and under him the helpers of Rahab lie crushed. God does not restrain his anger. Under him the helpers of Rahab lie crushed. Verse 14 of chapter 9. How much less can I answer him and choose my words to argue with him? Although I am innocent, I could not answer him. I could only plead with my judge for mercy. If I summoned him and he answered me, he would not believe that he would be listening to my voice. He who crushes me with a tempest and multiplies my wounds for no reason. He does not allow me to recover my breath, for he fills me with bitterness. It is a matter of strength. Most certainly he is a strong one. And if it is a matter of justice, he will say, who will summon me? Although I am innocent, my mouth would condemn me. Although I am blameless, it will declare me perverse. I am blameless. I do not know myself. I despise myself. And it is all one. That is why I say he destroys the blameless and the guilty. If a scourge brings sudden death, he mocks out the despair of the innocent. If a land has been given into the hand of a wicked, he covers the faces of his judges. If it is not he, then who is it? My days are swifter than a sana. They speed by without seeing happiness. They glide by like reed boats, like an eagle that swoops down on its prey. If I say I will forget my complaint, I will change my expression and be cheerful. I dread all my sufferings, for I know that you do not hold me blameless. For I am guilty. Why then weary myself in vain? If I wash myself with snow melt water and make my hands clean with lye, then you plunge me into a slimy pit, and my own clothes abhor me. For he is not a human being like me, that I might answer him, that we might come together in judgment. Nor is there an arbiter between us, who might lay his hand on us both, who would take his rod away from me, so that his terror would not make me afraid. Then I would speak and not fear him. But it is not so with me. Chapter 10. I am weary of my life. I will complain freely. Job chapter 10. I am weary of my life. I will complain freely without restraint. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say to God, do not condemn me. Tell me why you are contending with me. It is good for you to oppress, to despise the work of your hands, while you smile on the schemes of the wicked. Is it good for you to oppress, to despise the work of your hands, while you smile at the schemes of the wicked? Do you have eyes of flesh, or do you see a human being? Do you see as a human being sees? Jesus showed us that. Are your days like the days of a mortal, or your years like the years of a mortal? That you must search out my iniquity and inquire about my sin, although you know that I am not guilty and that there is no one who can deliver out of your hand. Your hands have shaped me and made me, but now you destroy me completely. Remember that you have made me as with the clay. Will you return me to dust? Did you not pour out like milk and curdle me like cheese? You clothed me with skin and flesh and knit me together with bones and sinews. You gave me life and favor, and your intervention watched over my spirit. But these things you have concealed in your heart. I know that this is with you. I know that this is with you. For I sinned, then you would watch me, and you would not acquit me of any iniquity. Chapter 10, verse 13. Let me go back a little. But these things you have concealed in your heart. I know that this is with you. If I sinned, then you would watch me, and you would not acquit me of my iniquity. If the forces are going against you, make sure you did not cause it, so that it is a battle of the Lord. Verse 14 says, if I sinned, then you would watch me, and you would not acquit me of my iniquity. If I am guilty, woe to me. If I am innocent, I cannot lift up my head. I am full of shame and satiated with my affliction. If I lift myself up, you hunt me as a fierce lion. And again you display your power against me. You bring new witness against me and increase your anger against me. Relief of troops come against me. Why then did you bring me out of the womb? I should have died and no one would have seen me. I should have been as though I had never existed. I should have carried right from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? Seize them and leave me alone, that I may find a little comfort before I depart, never to return to the land of darkness and the deepest shadow, to the land of utter darkness, like the deepest darkness and the deepest shadow and disorder, where even the light is like darkness. Chapter 11. Then Zophar the Naamathite spoke up and said, should not this abundance of words be answered, or should this talkative man be vindicated? Should people remain silent at your idle talk, and should no one rebuke you when you mock? For you have said my teaching is flawless, and I am pure in your sight. But if only God would speak, if only he would open his lips against you and reveal to you the secrets of wisdom. For true wisdom has two sides, so that you would know that God has given some of your sins. Can you discover the essence of God? Can you find out the perfection of the Almighty? It is higher than the heavens. What can you do? It is deeper than the Sheol. What can you know? Its measure is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. If he comes by and confines you and carves a court, then you can prevent him? Then who can prevent him? He who knows deceitful men, when he sees evil, will he not consider it? But an empty man will become wise when a wild donkey's colt is born a human being. As for you, if you prove faithful, and if you stretch out your hand towards him, if iniquity is in your hand, put it away, and do not let evil reside in your tents. For then you will lift up your hand without blemish, and you will be securely established, and will not fear. For you will forget your trouble, you will remember it like water that has flowed away. Life will be brighter than the noonday, though there be darkness. It will be like the morning, and you will secure because there is hope. You will be protected. You will take your rest in safety. You will lie down with no one to make you afraid, and many will seek your favor. But the eyes of the wicked fail, and escape eludes them. Their one hope is to breathe their last breath. Then Job answered without a doubt, you are the people, and wisdom will die with you. I also have understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Why do you know such things as these? I am a laughingstock to my friends. I who called on God and whom he answered, a righteous and blameless man, as a laughingstock. For calamity there is derision according to the ideas of the fortunate, a fate for those whose feet slip. But the tent of robbers are peaceful, and those who provoke God are confident, who carry their God in their hands. In the house of God. I can't believe it. But now ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds of the sky, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish of the sea declare to you. Which of these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature, and the breath of all human race. Does not the ear test words, or the tongue taste food? Is not wisdom found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding? With God are wisdom and power, counsel and understanding are here. If he tears down, it cannot be rebuilt. If he tears down, it cannot be if he tears down, chapter 12 verse 14, if he tears down, it cannot be rebuilt. If he imprisons a person, there is no escape. If he holds back the waters, then they dry up. If he releases them, they destroy the land. With him are strength and prudence, but the one who goes astray and the one who misleads are his. He leads counselors away, stripped, and makes judges into fools. He loosens the bond of the kings and binds a lion cloth around their waist. He leads priests away stripped and overthrown the potentates. He deprives the trusted advisors of speech and takes away the discernment of elders. He pours contempt on noblemen and disarms the powerful. He reveals the deep things of darkness and brings deep shadows into the light. He makes the nation great and destroys them. He extends the boundaries of nations and disperses them. He deprives the leaders of the earth of their understanding. He makes them wander in a trackless desert waste. They grope about in darkness without light. He makes them stagger like drunkards. Chapter 13. Indeed, my eyes have seen all this. My ears have heard and understood. What you know, I also know. I am not inferior to you. But I wish to speak to the Almighty, and I desire to argue my case with God. But you, however, are inventors of lies. All of you are worthless physicians. If only you would keep completely silent, for you that would be wisdom. Listen now to my argument, and be attentive to my lips' contentions. Will you speak wickedly of God's behalf? Will you speak deceitfully for him? Will you show him partiality? Will you argue the case of God? Would it turn out well if he would examine you? Or as one deceives man, would you deceive him? He would certainly rebuke you if you secretly showed partiality. Would not his splendor terrify you, and the fear he inspires fall on you? For maxims are proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenseless of clay. Refrain from talking with me so that I may speak. Let them come to me what may. Why do I put myself in peril and take my life in my hands? Even if he slays me, I will hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. Moreover, this will become my deliverance, for no godless person would come before him. Listen carefully to my words. Let our ears be attentive to my explanation. See now, I have prepared my case. I know that I am right. Who will contend with me? If anyone can, I will be silent and die. Only in two things spare me, O God, and then I will hide from your face. Remove your hand far from me and stop making me afraid with your terror. Then call, I will answer, or I will speak, and you respond to me. How many are my iniquities and sins? Show me my transgression and my sin. Why do you hide your face and regard me as your enemy? Do you wish to torment a wind-blown leaf and chase after dry chaff? For you write down bitter things against me and cause me to inherit the sins of my youth. And you put my feet on the stocks, and you watch all my movements. You put marks on the soles of my feet, so I waste away like something rotten, like a garden eaten by moths. Chapter 14. Man born of woman lives but a few days, and they are full of trouble. He grows up like a flower and then withers away, and he flees like a shadow and does not remain. Do you fix your eye on such a one? And do you bring me before you for judgment? Who can make a clean thing come from an unclean? No one. Since man's days are determined, the number of his months is under your control. You have set his limit, and you cannot pass it. Look away from him, and let him desist until he fulfills his time like a hired man. Chapter 14, verse 7. But there is hope for a tree. It is cut down, it will sprout again. If it is cut down, it will sprout again. Its new shoots will not fail. Although its roots may grow old in the ground and its stems begin to die in the soil, at the scent of water it will flourish and put forth shoots like a new plant. But man dies and is powerless. He expires. And where is he? As water disappears from the sea on a river drains weight and dries up, so man lies down and does not rise until the heavens are no more. They will awake nor arise from your sleep. Oh, that you would hide me in Sheol and conceal me till your anger has passed. Oh, that you would set me a time and then remember me. If a man dies, will he live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait until my release comes. You will call, and I will answer you. You will long for the creature you have made. Surely, now you count my steps, then you would not mark my sin. My offenses would be sealed in a bag, you would cover over my sin. But as a mountain falls away and crumbles, and as the rock will be removed from its place, as water wears away stones, and torrents wash away the soil, so you destroy man's hope. You overpower him once for all, and he departs, and changes appearance and send him away. If his sons are honored, he does not know it. If they are brought low, he does not see it. His flesh only has pain for him, and he mourns for himself. Chapter 15. Then Eliphaz and Temanite answered, does a wise man answer with blustery knowledge, or fill his belly with east winds? I like this argument coming and going. Chapter 15. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered, does a wise man answer with blustery knowledge, or fill his belly with the east wind? Does he argue with useless talk, with words that have no value in them? But you even break off piety and hinder meditation before God. Your sin inspires your mouth. You choose the language of the crafty. Your own mouth condemns you, not I. Your own lips testify against you. Were you the first man ever born? Were you brought forth behind the hills? Do you listen on God's secret counsel? Do you limit wisdom to yourself? What do you know about that we do not know? What do you understand that we do not understand? The gray-haired and the aged are on our side, men far old than your father. Are God's consolations too trivial for you, or a word spoken in gentleness to you? Why has your heart carried you away, and why do your eyes flash when you turn your rage against God and allow such words to escape from your mouth? What is man that he should be pure, or one born of woman that he should be righteous? If God places no trust in his holy ones, even if the heavens are not pure in his eyes, how much less man who is abominable and corrupt, who drinks in evil like water? I will explain to you, listen to me. And what I have seen I will declare. What wise men declare, hiding nothing from the traditions of their ancestors, to whom alone the land was given, when no foreigner passed among them. All these days the wicked man suffers torment throughout the number of the years that are stored by the tyrant. Terrifying sounds fill his ears. In a time of peace, marauders attack him. He does not expect to escape from darkness. He is marked for the sword. He wonders about food and vultures. He knows that the day of darkness is at hand. Distress and anguish terrify him. They prevail against him like a king ready to launch an attack. For he stretches out his hand against God and vows himself against the Almighty, defiantly charging against him with a thick, strong shield. Because he covered his face with fat and made his hips bulge with fat, he lives in ruined towns and in houses where no one lives, where they are ready to crumble into heaps. He will not grow rich, and his wealth will not endure, nor will his possessions spread over the land. He will not escape the darkness or flame. The darkness, a flame will wither his shoots, and he will depart by the breath of God's mouth. Let him not trust in what is worthless, deceiving himself, for worthlessness will be his reward. Before his time he will be paid in full, and his branches will not flourish. Like a vine, he will let his sour grapes fall, and like an olive tree, he will shed his blossoms. For the company of the godless is barren, and fire consumes the tents of those who accept the bribes. They conceive trouble and bring forth evil. Their belly prepares deception. Chapter 16. Then Job replied, I have heard many things like these before. What miserable comforters are you all? Will there be an end to your windy words? Or what provokes you that you answer? I also could speak like you if you were in my place, I could pile up words against you, and I could shake my head at you, but I would strengthen you with my words. Comfort from your lips would bring you relief. But if I speak my pain, it is not relieved. And if I refrain from speaking, how much of it goes away? Surely now he has worn me out. You have devastated my entire household. You have seized me, and it has become a witness, and my leanness has risen up against me and testifies against me. His anger has torn me and persecuted me. He has gnashed at me with his teeth, and my adversaries locked his eyes on me. He just squeezes out bad habit, because you don't know where bad habit comes from. It could be from childhood, inserted into you, and you don't know you have it. So what the Lord does is squeeze it out, because it is not allowed. Amen. Chapter 16 verse 10. People have opened their mouths against me. They have struck my cheek in scorn, and they unite together against me. God abandons me to evil men and throws me into the hands of wicked. I was in peace, and he has shattered me. He has seized me by the neck and crushed me. He has made me his target. His archers surround me. Without pity, he pierces my kidney and pours out my gall on the ground. He speaks through against me time and time again. He rushes against me like a warrior. I have sewed sackcloth on my skin and buried my horn in the dust. My face is reddened because of weeping, and my eyelids there is a deep darkness. Although there is no violence in my hands, and my prayer is pure. On earth do not cover my blood, nor, O earth, chapter 16 verse 18. O earth, do not cover my blood, nor let there be a secret place for my cry. Even now my witness is in heaven, my advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend, and my eyes pour out tears to God, and he contends with God on behalf of man, as a man pleads for his friend. For the years that lie ahead are few, and then I will go on the way of no return. Chapter 17. Let me see here. Chapter 17. Whew. My spirit, it is broken. My days have faded. The grave awaits me. Surely mockery is with me. My eyes must dwell in their hostility. Set my pledge beside you. Who else will put up security for me? Because you have closed their minds to understanding, therefore you will not exalt them. If a man denounces his friend for personal gain, the eyes of his children will fail. He has made a byword to people. I am the one in whose face they spit. My eyes have grown dim with grief. My whole frame is but a shadow. Upright men are appalled at this. The innocent man is troubled with the godless, but the righteous man holds to his way, and the one who with clean hands grows stronger. But turn, all of you, and come now. I will not find a wise man among you. My days have passed. My plans are shattered, even the desires of my heart. These men change night into day. They say that light is near in the face of darkness. If I hope for the grave to be my home, I spread out my bed in darkness. If I cry out to corruption, you are my father, and to whom? My mother or my sister? Where then is my hope? And my hope, who sees it? Will it go down to the barred straight gates of death? This is the word of the Lord.